If you've just tuned in, you're still watching the program Sports Desk on TVC. Right now, let's connect you back to Solomon Ajuziogu in Abeokuta, venue of the ongoing National Sports Festival. Well, Solomon, let's start from the mat. Blessing Obodo Dudu is one athlete that made a name for herself as far as wrestling is concerned. She also competed at the games, and we understand that it's time for her to bid the sport farewell, a sport that has given her so much fame and fortune. Solomon, tell us much more about this.
Well, this is a personal decision for her. Some of us thought that Blessing would have faced her bow before now. But you know, one of the challenges of the sports festival is the distance between some of the venues and some of them. So we didn't really get to see, we really didn't touch the wrestling venue because it's not within the main arena here. But Blessing Obodo, certainly one of the best in the country, has paid her dues, won everything that has to be won. And if at this time she's saying goodbye to the sport as an athlete, well, we can only wish her well and appreciate her for all she has done for Nigeria. Well, we wait to see what next she's going to do, either for the sport or outside the sport.
That's it.
And hope that, like her mentor, Daniel Igali, she will bring something on that level to the sport of wrestling.
Well, let's take a look at the games so far and the reigns, the protests in general, Solomon, and the dominance of Delta states over the years. How would you describe this year's edition, and what do you expect as far as the next edition of the festival is concerned?
Well, 5 consecutive titles. That is no mean thing. And every time they have to do this, they have to do it emphatically. But you must also understand that it is not the first time they are achieving this feat in consecutive terms. They also won as Bendel, the old Bendel that had Edo State and Delta State together. So they dominated. Don't forget that they have a foundation and they have a structure for this. While they do this at home, they also have the foreign, while they have their home-based and homegrown talent in Delta State, they also have the foreign-based talent. And most of the foreign-based talents are usually brought up from Delta there, and then they are given scholarships abroad. And when Delta State meets them for festivals like this, they ferry them back home to take part. The festival, the National Sports Festival, is now an open event. They regard it as the Nigerian Olympics. And because it's Nigerian Olympics, it's no longer, well, developmental as it were. Even those who have the highest amount of money, who can ferry in players from anywhere as long as they are Nigerians, can ferry them in tours and bring them. Lots of the states here brought in players from outside the country. Even players that were not playing for them. You have Olajide Omotayo, who was developed and bred in Lagos, representing Delta or Bayelsa. You have representing Ogun State. She had always represented, Ekiti State. So you have athletes who came all the way from Canada, from US, from UK, and some of the states waited on some of these athletes to bring them laurels. So you say they are sitting third on the log with 77 gold medals. Now that is due in part to the importation of some of the best talents from anywhere you can get them. You have Jabbar Adama, who brings the 50 meters freestyle for men, the record, the national record. Then you have the 15-year-old from Ukraine. They have athletes from everywhere taking part in the tournament, in the festival. So it's a good thing that the states are willing to spend the money. And if you want to win, you have to spend the money both for development, the foundation, and then if you want to win at all costs. Okay, maybe you then have to bring in athletes from outside the country as well.
Solomon, will you say that Ogun State, to a large extent, has probably done both? If a 15-year-old swimmer is winning gold in swimming, beating other competitors from the Niger Delta region, developmental-wise, is it a positive stride for the whole state?
Well, Oluwatobiloba won gold in the 800 meters freestyle for women. For a 15-year-old, that's a very tough thing. She also won gold in the 400 meters freestyle. She's 15 years old. She couldn't come here by herself. She had to come with her parents. The mother and the father came here with her. They brought her here because she's a minor. But she's from Ogun State and she's a Nigerian. So she's eligible to compete. There's another athlete, Ibidapo, who is also 13 years, so representing another state. So wherever these athletes are, they can come in and represent their state. But then there is one fundamental feature of this festival, which is for the first time, you have what you call the invited junior athletes. Some of these junior athletes, which Oluwatobiloba and Ibidapo would have been in, because no states, it's assumed that most of the states will not want to bring a 13-year-old or a 15-year-old to compete for them. Some of the athletes that competed under the IJA were some of the talented athletes who probably wouldn't have had the chance to compete alongside senior athletes in any of the states. And so the National Sport Commission brought them all together and gave them a chance to compete there. And some of them have done fantastic as well.
Solomon Ajuziogu, I must say very big thank you indeed for giving us the updates from Abeokuta. And certainly we wish you the best. And the states participating at the ongoing games as we look forward to the closing ceremony of the National Sports Festival.